and their families and friends that I have to step out. There's a roll call vote on the floor, and my two colleagues are going to take over in the committee. Both voted, I hope. So I have to run to the floor. I'd like to say two things quickly. I've sat here through hundreds and hundreds of nominees, and you catch the drift of questioning. And two things that we saw, that we witnessed today, are very common. One is to find the nicest thing you ever said or did about the worst client you ever had, and to be reminded of that and try to defend it. That is common, and people can draw from that, which they will. And the second is trying to draw each one of the nominees into their personal feelings. Imagine this hypothetical, and only a hypothetical. What if I said at one of these hearings, I do not believe in same-gender marriage? I just don't believe in it at all. How would that affect me as judge on the first case I have involving that issue? People would say right away, I want a new judge. I want to change a venue. I want to get to somebody who's at least objective on the issue. So the nominees are instructed and properly don't answer that question about your personal feelings. They're supposed to apply the law as established to the facts that are brought before them. And so they face withering criticism for not being forthright in their personal feelings, but professionally they're doing the right thing. I thank the nominees, and I turn the floor over to Senator Coons.
I defer to Senator Welch.
Thank you, Senator Coons. First of all, thank you, Judge Lee, and thank you, Judge Bryant. I really appreciate it. And I do have some questions for you, Ms. Robinson. You have what I think is an incredibly important role, subject to your confirmation. You know, the patent process, as we know, has a very valid purpose, and that's to protect the intellectual property rights of creators. And it gives them an awesome power of pricing power during that period. I'm talking about drugs right now. During that period of exclusivity, basically, the creator of the drug can fix their price, and it's a take it or leave it situation. But I'm also concerned, and I respect that. What I disrespect and has to be dealt with is the patent abuse. Tactics like evergreening, which you're, I'm sure, familiar with, or tactics like the patent thickets that are created. All of these are intended to, as you know, extend that monopoly pricing power beyond the stated period of market exclusivity. My view is that this has been an incredible problem for taxpayers, for consumers, for employers who provide health care to their hardworking employees, because it keeps prices up because of that abuse of the patent system. And my question to you in your role is thoughts about how, A, is that a problem, and B, how to deal with it?
Senator, as you know, the IPAC does not create laws or create policy. And I just want to acknowledge also that there's great discussions happening around the issues that you're bringing up. I'm not privy to some of those discussions that are happening right now because I'm not currently in the administration and have all the information on those things. But reiterating that the IPAC doesn't create policy or law, the IPAC is concerned about counterfeit drugs entering into our country and affecting the lives of Americans. And so if I am confirmed, I will make sure that I work with all the relevant agencies to support the work that they're currently doing, but also to look at nuances and new technology and new ways of infringing and bringing those counterfeit drugs into our homes.
Thank you, and that's very important to do. But in addition to that, there is the patent system that I think in order for it to maintain credibility and its purpose, there has to be a focus on where there's abuse of it. And is there anything in your role, is there anything that would be part of your role in this position that would be monitoring or reviewing or paying attention to situations where there's an abuse of the patent system?
So once again, the IPAC's role is not to create law or policy. It is to create a strategic plan for intellectual property for the United States and to coordinate the relevant agencies. And you mentioned jobs You mentioned security. The IPEC does care about that. And I think that having a rigorous, robust, and strategic plan to enforce against counterfeit drugs is a way to protect those jobs, protect our economy, and our security in our homes and businesses.
Okay, thank you very much. I'll just ask you, Judge Ryan, is there anything you want to add to what you have spoken to? I had to step out to vote as well, but I don't know if anyone in my absence has asked you questions you'd like to elaborate your answer on. I want to give you an opportunity to do that, and Judge Lee, for you to do that as well.
Thank you, Senator. I do not have anything to add to my previous remarks.
Okay.
Thank you, Senator. I do not have anything to add to my previous remarks either.
Well, I want to thank all three of you for the service you've been providing throughout your careers. It's been pretty impressive. Thank you. I yield back.
Thank you, Senator Welch, and thank you, Judge Lee, Judge Bryan. Thank you to you and your families for your willingness to continue to serve our nation. I also now